Hello, lovely writers. Welcome to Writerly Wednesday. I wanted to talk about something today that comes up for every writer that I know of, and it goes hand in hand with our goal you may have heard of before, hashtag 100 rejections. And that's a process where you're putting yourself and your writing out there. The thing is, it can be hard to build up that supposed tough skin or resilience. And you might have heard me talk before about something like it's not personal. And I'll give you examples of editors, both totally uniquely qualified and experienced and wonderful people, but they give opposing advice. And what I often say is, the thing is, it's not personal. Their feedback to you, anybody's feedback, whether they're a qualified reader or not, is not personal. But actually, it is. And what I mean by that is that it's personal for them. So when you're catching an editor on a particular day, whether you are catching a qualified reader, a manuscript, assessment reader, a family member, anybody, it is personal, but it's personal about them, not about you and your writing. Now, it's not to say that I'm telling you to go out and don't do any editing, because I do want you to edit your work before you submit it. But it's just giving you that extra piece of advice that sounds like it's the opposite, but it's more just added proof that the feedback that you get is not personal about you. It's actually not even necessarily personal about your writing, but it's absolutely personal about the reader. Maybe it's a topic that triggers them and you have no idea. Say your manuscript deals with grief or death, and they've had a death in the family, either recently or something that they've never healed from. This came up for me years ago when a writer that I didn't represent, but was within my writerly network of friends, came to me because she got feedback from an editor who loved all the rest of her stuff that said, this manuscript, it's not going to work. And she was devastated. So she asked me, with support from another friend that I knew, to read it. And on reading it, I could really tell it wasn't a problem with the writing. It wasn't actually even a problem with the topic, but it was a personal issue that the reader had. Now, this had a good ending to it. That editor was able to see her way through it, potentially with support from her colleagues, to see that this was an amazing manuscript. And of course, it was probably edited as well. So they would have done some edits to make it more palatable, I guess I would say, to the primary editor. But all that to say, it was never about the writer. It was not about the quality of her work. It was about the reader. And publishers and agents are going to be trying to put themselves into a reader's head, but they can only do it so well. They're still making a judgment call based on their own personal opinion. So every time I've gotten feedback from an editor, well, I would say the kind ones, the very, very sweet ones, always say, it's not a fit for me, but I hope this finds a good home. And they are recognizing that it's a personal about them, not about the manuscript. And in fact, I would say all of the manuscripts that I've submitted on behalf of authors have had rejections before they have an acquisition to a publisher. It doesn't mean that the other publishers or the publisher that acquires it is right and all the others are wrong, but maybe. But it's more about, it's personal to the reader. They either want to take it forward or they don't. They see the value or they don't. They like the topic or they don't. They resonate with the writing or they don't. But it's not that your writing or topic or voice or any of those things are wrong. It's just that For them, it's not a personal fit. So when I say it's not personal, but it is, I hope that you understand what I mean. And that's my big tip for Writerly Wednesday this week. I would love to hear any stories that you have about a time that you got feedback that maybe shook you a little bit initially, and then you saw your way to continue to submit or to tweak and rewrite and put it out there again. Do you have any times that you've gotten directly conflicting feedback from equally experienced and well-respected editors or qualified readers? Do you know what I'm talking about? I really, really want you to hear this because, of course, I know that all of you have a story to tell. Now's the time to tell it. Don't let the reader who doesn't get it sway you from continuing on with your goal. Okay? Sending you lots of love this week. I can't wait to hear your stories, and I will see you next week for another Writerly Wednesday. Bye, guys.